Então, pessoal, hoje a gente veio visitar o escritório do Airbnb. Ele acabou de ser inaugurado, na verdade. Esse aqui é o terceiro andar, foi inaugurado há 4 meses. Os outros 2 andares foram inaugurados há 2 meses. E o ambiente é todo assim, ó, como vocês podem ver, você se sentir em casa mesmo. Isso aqui é a réplica de um apartamento que existe no Brooklyn, em Nova York. E as pessoas podem ficar lá. Inclusive a secretária aqui acabou de me contar que passou a última semana lá e que o apartamento é realmente idêntico ao que está sendo exposto aqui. Bom, quem recebe a gente hoje é a Brittany. Hey Brittany, how are you?
Hi.
So, what about the space? How is it like to work here?
Well, it's a great space. I'll take you around. We are about 1,500 to 2,000 people, not all in the building, of course. And we're in offices all around the world. And a lot of what you'll see here is offices replicated by actual listings in different countries. So I'll take you around and show you the area.
But what's the idea of the office? It's like feeling at home, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. It's definitely mirrored off of what the company's values are, belonging anywhere, being comfortable, having a home type space. And so all of our collaborative work areas reflect that. It's a very comfortable, open space where people can set up shop anywhere, work from any location in the building. You're not set to one desk, and it's, as you'll see, it's really comfortable with couches, lounge areas, cafe spaces.
Great, so let's have a look.
All right, let's
Great.
go.
Do you get visitors from everywhere all the time?
We do. We get tons of visitors, whether it's people just touring the space, whether it's groups that are doing business here. We also do some tours. So every day, you usually can tell because they have the backpacks on, or sometimes they have suits on, and it's a very casual place, so you can.
Yeah. So this is actually something that really happens on Airbnb, right? You have different places to stay.
So this one here is an Airstream called Norma Jean in Australia.
It really exists.
Yep.
Australia,
Here's
right?
a picture.
How do you make all these things to look exactly the same? How do you find the exact trailer or the exact sofa?
So this they actually craned in over our holiday break. We had 2 weeks off where they had to clear the streets on a Saturday and bring a giant crane and open the space to bring us into the 3rd floor. Quite the production. They try to get as close as possible, as you can see from the mats and everything.
It's really
but
outside.
Can't always replicate exactly everything. It's pretty spot on though. It's pretty close, as you'll see in the pictures. But just trying to get the big details down, and then give or take, a couple things are a little bit different. But even in the back here, what I like is this little area you'll see with the flamingos and the lounge chairs, and just giving it the same vibe, the same feeling.
And you can work from here. You can go inside and work there.
Well, this is a meeting room, so you have to reserve it. A lot of these are meeting rooms, the listings, and then the spaces you see right here, these are tents.
Right.
These are just, first come, first serve. You're welcome to grab them whenever they're open. They're for anybody. And that's because our team saw that people need maybe 15 minutes to huddle together, and meeting rooms were being booked for 30 minutes at a time. Sometimes they were going unused, but it said reserved outside the door.
And the line's big for having one of these.
We really needed a space where people can just huddle, and then these were created, as well as some on the other side. Just these little spaces that you can just grab when you needed them to just gather together in a group, and that's really helped the workflow and allow people to do more meetings without having to actually reserve a space. If you need privacy, you can
close down.
Drop the
curtain.
Open it up, let people know it's available again. And you can hang out here all day, use it however long you need it.
And if you need some rest, is there a bedroom?
Oh, not yet. Maybe one day.
Not yet.
Well, there is a bed in the Airstream, but it's not for sleeping. One day maybe, we'll see. I love the idea though.
Isn't it?
Seems nice.
Isn't it good? Yeah.
Great way to spend your lunch break.
Sure. How is it divided here? Who are these guys?
So here we have our recruiting team and HR team. Every team has an area where they have a cubby location to drop their stuff off, where their teams usually huddle. But in general, you can float around however you'd like.
It's another meeting room here. It's not meeting room, it's
these are
a living room.
Yeah, it's very comfortable, just like a home.
Yeah.
These here are another pop-in room that you could take phone calls. They don't fit that many people, so it's about 2 to 3 people's max. But
It's like,
you'll see there's carpeting on the walls. It's a little more soundproof.
right, it's better.
A quiet place to take a call.
So you can like Skype someone or...
Yes, so they have the monitors. We also have polycoms for phone calls. Conferencing, the quality is much better than using a cell phone. And then the carpeting walls just helps
Nobody
with the
shouting
sound a little bit.
in the back and...
Yeah, and the glass door, of course, so you don't interrupt someone's call. You can see when somebody's done. And these are just pop in, pop out as needed.
More about the building. It's 100 years old, right?
Yes.
So it was all...
It used to have railroad tracks. You'll see on the ground floor what used to be the indentations from the railroad. And then
So what
before
was
we
it
bought
here?
it, it was an old jewelry mart. It looked completely different, kind of like an outlet mall. And then we came in, totally revamped the space. You would never even recognize
You have
it.
this live...
Yes, this is one of my
wall.
favorite areas. We're in Cairo right now. This is one.
We're in Cairo.
Cairo. This is one of our many cafe spaces. So we have coffee, snacks, everything we have is made in-house. So our food team is like really about sustainability. We repurpose everything. They strive for zero waste. We all were given these big water carafes to reuse so that we're not washing as many dishes. We only use glassware so that we're not wasting plastic, we're not wasting aluminum. Oh, I'll swing you by the Brazil listing.
From Cairo to Rio. All around the world in a day. That's really cool.
This is Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro é o apartamento da Isabela no Rio. Foi replicado aqui. A gente vai passear pelo mundo inteiro em um dia. Aliás, em algumas horas aqui no Airbnb, né? That's really cool.
Yeah, very cozy.
And again, how did you find this one?
So our environments team picked it out. I'm not sure if an employee had stayed here before, but they have a pretty good sense of really great, unique listings. Things have unique design elements. Everything's really special.
Like colorful and
yeah,
stuff, yeah.
exactly. Australia, Shanghai.
Who are they?
So you'll see these people, black and white photos all over the space. These are all actual hosts that Airbnb employees have stayed with. So our art department had asked employees, have you ever stayed with a host who offered exceptional hospitality, did something very kind above and beyond the call of duty? People wrote in with their stories about examples of when people have treated them exceptionally well, given them great acts of hospitality. And then we reached out to those hosts and said, like, we'd love to put you on the walls of our office. And you'll see a little bit of their story next to their photo. It's kind of like bringing our community back into the office space. We often have hosts here as well, touring the space and always looking for, this is the newest area I was talking to you about. This is our super brand. I'll show you a couple really cool spaces in the meeting rooms. Right here is Dolores Park. This, if you've ever been to San Francisco before, Dolores Park is very famous in the city.
No, not this one.
It's a hilly park area that has tons of locals that just lounge on the grass. They hang out all day if you go by there. It's very much like this. So this is another lounge space where people can just go and hang out and set up. In addition to that, so this is where super brand lies. That's marketing, online marketing, brand management, communications, public relations.
That's where you work then?
Yes,
Cool.
yes. I try to remind myself this isn't real life. This is not your typical working space. It's very unique. I can't come to work every day and set up shop on a beanbag and put my feet up and lay on a hammock and work on my computer, but it's definitely something very unique and special we have going on.
It's kind of the things that happen here a lot, right? So it's a new concept of...
And I think a lot more people are adopting that. You make it comfortable for your employees to work. They feel at home, they stay longer, they're happier. And I know just, sitting at a desk can be really tedious. So sometimes when I just need to re-energize, I'll go to Cairo and grab a little seat on the
Coffee,
balcony and
yeah.
feel like I'm outside, even though I'm definitely not. I'm definitely in the office still, but it's nice to have that space. This is another one of our cafe spaces. We're in Sydney right now. This is just a salad bar, breakfast bar that's open all day. So if you can't make it to the meal times upstairs, there's always food around.
Los Angeles as well.
Los Angeles is another
bar.
cafe space. Even our cafe spaces are actual listings, like that you can find on the platform.
How big is Airbnb nowadays? It's like how many countries, how many people
We're about
in a day, or how many rooms you're available on the platform?
So we're about 2,000 employees, give or take. We have been hiring new employees every week, so I don't know the exact number, but I know we've reached the 2,000 mark. We're in over 190 countries worldwide. I can get you the latest stats on the very latest number as far as nights booked, but we are in places that hotel chains are
Or
not.
not yet.
Even here in San Francisco, the Mission District is one of our most popular neighborhoods on Airbnb. There are no hotels in the Mission. So we're allowing people to stay in neighborhoods that they never saw before. Predominantly, hotels are in touristy areas. They're not in actual local neighborhoods. Oh, this is a fun one. This is the Mushroom Dome.
Where is it
For
based?
for the longest time, this was our number one
California?
Airbnb listing.
Was it?
Yep. Because it's one of those unique accommodations that you can't stay in or you don't see. This is actually about 2 hours away from here.
Right.
In Aptos, it's still continuously booked. I've tried to look into staying there myself, and unless you're booking far in advance and you're going to stay on a Monday night, you have to really reserve this months and months in
And
advance.
it's really small because it's like
Oh yeah, it's so tiny. You can see it's like
Yeah.
practically the exact same size. And if you read these reviews, these hosts are really great. They welcome people into the main home, have breakfast with them. It just continuously gets booked because people have great experiences, and it's something you can't get anywhere else. To stay in the woods in a little hut, it's pretty awesome.
So how is it like on specific moments, for example, in the World Cup in Brazil or the Olympic Games? Do you work close with the governments as well on these moments?
Yes, definitely. So we have a team, our local operations team, who, as well as like various teams, public policy, who work with governments on these partnerships that can benefit cities. The Olympics, for example, that's going to bring in so many people, and hotels just can't accommodate everyone. And those times where there's so much tourism scene, there's always an overflow. There's always a need for extra accommodations. So we work with them to say, we can partner together, get new people to host, to open their homes, and provide thousands of accommodations for people who are coming into the town. And this also really benefits the economy.
O Airbnb, na verdade, foi fundado nesse apartamento aqui. Assim, os inventores, os idealizadores do Airbnb moravam nesse apartamento quando eles resolveram hospedar pela primeira vez uma pessoa, porque eles eram estudantes, precisavam de dinheiro, enfim. E eles replicaram esse apartamento aqui. So that's the idea, right, Brittany? Why did you decide to make these things here?
So this is the very first Airbnb listing ever. So this is an exact replica of Joe and Brian's living room. When they first came up with the idea, they had 3 air mattresses, and it was for a convention. All the hotels were booked up, and they thought we can offer our living room and breakfast to people coming for a convention. And they blew up 3 air mattresses right here in this living room and had their first 3 guests, and that's how the whole idea started. So this is, to the T, an exact replica of their apartment, which they still own today. And it's just a few blocks away from here. And this was also the first Airbnb headquarters.
Is it still listed on Airbnb?
Yes, they don't get to host that often, but it's still on the platform, so you can definitely search for it.
That's really cool. Talking again about the hospitality business, how's it like for you to deal with this here? Because they say like the hotel chains pay taxes, but Airbnb doesn't. But you're already doing something here in San Francisco, right? How is it working now?
So the challenge with that is that every city is different. We have to work with every city to figure out the best way for us to pay tourist taxes. We're already doing that in cities across the world. We're paying the same transient occupancy tax that hotels do. And we work really hard with cities to make that work, to pay the same taxes and provide extra income for the states and the cities. Here in San Francisco, we're doing that. We're doing it in Amsterdam, which we're doing it in
rules.
London.
For example, in San Francisco, you can't rent your place for more than 3 months in a year. Is that it?
That's being debated right now.
Ah,
And
right,
so,
still debated. Okay.
Yeah, our public policy team can speak on that a lot more. They have a pulse of the latest. And that's why, you know, sometimes it's not black and white. Every city is different. We have to adjust the tourist taxes to different cities all over. Some cities, like London, Amsterdam, are all for home sharing. They have no caps. Other cities want to restrict it to a certain number of days per year with other different requirements. So we're trying to scale to make that work in cities that want to work with us. And you know, we've seen the tourist taxes have helped benefit places and generated a ton of money for cities. So it's really helping both the community and the people and letting tourists experience areas that have never been traveled before.
Okay. So that's why you have lunch. You can come for a meeting as well, like you can see there.
And in the evenings, as I mentioned, we host a lot of groups in this space. So we'll set up chairs, we have a monitor, a stage, and we just offer this space for free for groups who need to have a meeting space or have a conference. We also do meetings up here as a team, so the entire company comes up. We, believe it or not, we can make it work. And our CEO will speak every other week. We have a meeting in here and we just talk about new things going on with the company, and it's our world team meeting.
So talking about security, how do you make sure it's secure for the guests and for the host as well? You have some guidelines related to that as well, like insurances and...
Yes, we have our host protection insurance. We have tons of tools built into the platform that speak on trust and safety. We have a team that's constantly monitoring that. We have our identification verification process, and we're constantly working with groups within the safety space to make sure that as we're growing, we're also evolving and making sure that our guest safety is our #1 priority.
So what happens if I get to a place that I don't know anyone, I'm traveling, I'm on holidays, then when I get there, I see the apartment isn't exactly the same as I saw in the picture. What happens? What can I do?
Well, when you make your reservation, we send you a link and a phone number to our customer experience should anything happen or you need any support. So in those cases, you'd call up our CX team and they'd immediately either ask you, do you want to go to a new place, help you find accommodations urgently, because assuming you just arrived, they can get you in a new space, refund your money. That doesn't typically happen because we do offer free photography, and so you can
certified,
see in
the
certified. So that's like a way to say, been here, this is what it looks like. We've taken these photos.
The comments as well from the people.
Absolutely, the review system is why people love Airbnb, because when you're staying in someone's home, you want to know, has anyone stayed here before? What do they say about it? And often what people love is that human connection, that guest and host experience of being able to feel like you have a friend somewhere and feel like you belong somewhere.
And there's another thing, the guest just receives the money 24 hours after you get there, right?
Yes, the host, yes.
Yeah, the host, the host. So that's another thing that
Airbnb
you have 24 hours to see and
so you check in and make sure that that's just the way the host is ensure their money, because when you book, Airbnb holds the funds and then the host gets paid after. So just making sure everybody, the transaction goes and Airbnb acts as a middleman to just make sure that everybody checks in and it is what they say it is.
And also the other way around, have insurance for the apartments as well, the houses.
You know, accidents happen. Sometimes you break a plate or, you know.
Fire in a home.
That's extreme. Accidents happen.
Can happen.
And even things like you put a drink down and it left a ring on the table. Our insurance provides coverage for things like that are just, unforeseen accidents that happen. And most of the time you'll hear Airbnb hosts say the guests leave the home cleaner than they arrived. People are really good, even though they know the bedding's going to be stripped, they make sure to make the bed before they leave. And I don't know if you do this, but I know I don't do that in a hotel. But when you're staying in someone's home, you feel a connection. You see the photos on their wall. You don't want to leave it the way you would leave a hotel. You don't want to wipe your makeup off on the towels. You really take
care of it.
Care of a home because somebody's here. This is someone's space. And so it's a level of respect and understanding that happens between the host and the guests.
Well, Brittany, thank you very much for
thank you
having
guys
us
for
here.
coming. I'm glad you
It's
could
really
see the
cool.
space.
Yeah, I envy you to work here.
It's
really cool.
great. I try to think about it every day. Like, this is so nice to be able to lay in a hammock and work on my laptop. It's comfortable. It's a great space.
All right, thank you very, very much.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you.